Ethan Cole did not believe in accidents. He believed in systems, schedules, rules. Before the story begins, let me ask you something. Have you ever loved someone who seemed perfect on the outside, but unreachable on the inside? Share your thoughts in the comments. At 42, Ethan was a billionaire CEO whose life ran like a machine, precise, efficient, emotionally silent. Every morning began the same way. Same time, same workout, same breakfast, same suit color rotation. Nothing in his life was spontaneous. That wasn't a coincidence. It was protection. Years earlier, Ethan had learned the hard way what emotion could cost a man who had too much to lose. Love hadn't just broken his heart, it had nearly dismantled everything he worked for. Trust misplaced, loyalty abused, vulnerability punished. So he rebuilt himself differently. He made rules. Rule 1, never get emotionally attached. Rule 2, never let love interfere with decisions. Rule 3, never break Rule 1 or 2. Those rules turned pain into power. They turned chaos into control. They turned Ethan Cole into a billionaire. But they also turned his nights very quiet. Across the city, far from glass towers and private elevators, Amani Rivers lived a life that didn't look impressive on paper, but felt full when lived. Her mornings were slower. Her evenings warmer. Her apartment smelled like incense and fresh coffee. Plants crowded the windows. Old photos lined the walls, proof that memories mattered to her. Amani worked in community development, helping people rebuild after lost homes, dignity, confidence. She sat with people when their lives felt broken. She listened when no one else would. She believed in love, but she had learned not to chase it. Her past taught her a painful lesson. Loving deeply didn't guarantee being chosen fully. And she promised herself never again would she shrink just to fit into someone else's guarded heart. Two people, two philosophies, neither searching for love. And yet, love doesn't ask permission. The elevator stopped between floors with a sudden jolt. Ethan barely reacted at first. He glanced at his watch, irritation flashing across his face. Delays annoyed him. Uncertainty irritated him even more. Amani steadied herself, one hand gripping the rail. "Well," she said lightly, "that's inconvenient." Ethan pressed the emergency button. No response. No signal, he muttered, checking his phone. The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was intimate. They stood there, strangers suspended in stillness. "What do you do?" Amani asked, her voice calm, curious but not impressed. "I run companies." She nodded slowly. "That sounds exhausting." Ethan looked at her. "Most people say impressive." She smiled gently. "Impressive doesn't always mean peaceful." That landed deeper than he expected. Minutes passed. 10. 15. No assistance. No authority. No exits. Just two people forced to exist without distractions. When the elevator finally moved again, Ethan felt something unexpected tightening in his chest. Not relief. Disappointment. As the doors opened, Amani stepped out first. "Nice meeting you," she said. Even under strange circumstances, Ethan watched her walk away. And for the first time in years, one of his rules didn't feel as solid as it used to. They crossed paths again. At a charity event Ethan funded but never attended. At a community meeting he showed up to without explanation. Each time, Amani greeted him the same way, warm, present, unbothered by who he was or what he owned. She never asked about his wealth, never leaned closer when she learned his name. That unsettled him. "You don't talk about yourself much," she said one evening as they stood outside, city lights reflecting off the pavement. "I don't see the value." She tilted her head. Connection is value. That word connection made something tighten inside him. So he did what he always did when emotions threatened control. He pulled away, canceled meetings, avoided shared spaces, let silence stretch. But Amani noticed. "You disappear when things feel real," she said quietly when they finally spoke again. "I'm busy." "No," she replied, steady but honest. "You're afraid." The words sat between them. And for the first time, Ethan didn't deny it. A storm grounded flights overnight. One terminal, one delay, too much time. They sat side by side, coffee growing cold between them. "What scares you?" Amani asked suddenly. Ethan stared straight ahead. "Depending on someone." She didn't interrupt. "I built my life so nothing could take me down again." Amani nodded slowly. "I built mine so I'd never feel invisible again." That honesty cracked something open. They talked until the terminal emptied. That night, nothing physical happened. But emotionally, a line was crossed. Over weeks, Ethan began to tell her about his past. The woman who loved his ambition but resented his boundaries. The betrayal that taught him control instead of healing. I made rules so I wouldn't bleed again, he admitted quietly. Amani listened, then spoke. I stayed too long where love had conditions. Their pain didn't compete. It mirrored, and that terrified him. They laughed together, shared meals that lasted too long, sat in silence without pressure. For the first time in years, Ethan felt peace. Not excitement, not adrenaline. Peace. Mid-story CTA. If you've ever felt emotionally safe with someone for the first time, tap like and tell me what that felt like. But peace required vulnerability, and vulnerability threatened his rules. I can't give you more, Ethan said one night, voice tight. Amani didn't cry. She nodded slowly. I didn't ask for more, she said. I asked to be chosen. I have too much to lose. She met his eyes. And I have too much self-respect to stay hidden. She walked away. And for the first time, Ethan felt the full weight of his rules. Alone in his penthouse, surrounded by everything. Ethan realized control hadn't saved him. It had isolated him. For the first time, he broke a rule. Then another. Then the last one that mattered. At a public gala, cameras flashing. Ethan stepped forward. This woman, he said, voice steady, is not an exception. She is my choice. Amani froze. He crossed the room. I love you, he said. Out loud. Without rules. She searched his face. Then smiled. About time. Do you believe love should change us or reveal who we already are? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more stories that stay with you.